what does it say? A very dilute calcium solution of calcium hydroxide. What's the molarity of this solution? Does it make sense? This number, does that make sense? Very dilute. That means it's almost water. And water at 25 degrees is 7. So it has to be very close to 7. Now it's basic, so it has to be larger than 7. Okay, 7.03 makes sense. Right? Makes sense, that value for a very dilute solution of that strong base. Very dilute. And we want the concentration of calcium hydroxide. How many moles per liter of this we have in there? By just knowing the pH of a very dilute solution of calcium hydroxide. We know the pH and we want to find the concentration of that. I don't know solution manuals or books to really do it the way we're going to do it here. And that's why students are totally confused. They hate, especially Chem 2B. Because it's done in a way that you just memorize things. You don't really understand. That's a shame. We're doing it that way. Almost all books do it that way. So we're going to do it slowly. If you want to do it fast during exam, you can do it. But usually if you do it fast, probably you do it because you're memorizing things and most of the time it doesn't work. Okay, so we start with what we know. What do we know? pH. So you know pH. That means you know concentration of hydronium ions. You use your calculator and you find out the concentration of hydronium ions. What kind of hydronium ions? Equilibrium total. Almost no books say that to you. And that's why you're not learning, you're memorizing. This concentration of hydronium ions that the pH measures is at equilibrium. You can have all kinds of reactions happening there. When all the systems that they are givers of hydronium ions, they are in equilibrium, all of them. The total hydronium ion concentration from all these systems at equilibrium is what pH measures. So this is equilibrium total. And that is, if you do the calculation, equal to 9.3 times 10 to minus 8. Okay? Now, we know this, and we want to find out concentration of calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide, that's hydroxide. So really, we have to somehow jump into hydroxide. And if we jump into hydroxide, the hydroxide relates to calcium hydroxide, and we find the concentration of calcium hydroxide. That makes sense? Okay? So how does the hydronium ion concentration relate to hydroxide ion concentration? You know now, in every aqueous solution, therefore for this aqueous solution, the concentration of hydronium ions times the concentration of hydroxide ions is equal to 1 times 10 to minus 14 at 25 degrees Celsius. If it's not that value. And usually books don't say that. And this is equilibrium total. This is equilibrium total. Almost, I don't know any book that really does say it. At least in the beginning, when you learn, it has to be there. Then you can ignore it later. But in the beginning, you have to know what it means. So, from this one then, because we know this is this, do you agree with that? Then we can find out from here the concentration of hydroxide ions, equilibrium total, is equal to 1.0 times 10 to minus 14. I could solve this problem for you in about 10 seconds. And you go out of this room and you know nothing. The only thing you do is, if this problem or a similar one is in the exam, you solve it and you say, everything is good. Then you go and take these cuts, bumps, and thrusts, these exams for your other schools, and you fail. You say, well, they were hard. I did not do well. That's what happened. And the ones that they pass are the ones that they really understand what they're doing. Don't you agree with that? That's happening? Okay, so we have the OH minus total, right? If we knew that which comes from calcium hydroxide, right? We would know immediately the concentration of calcium hydroxide, but that's total. It's not that one comes from calcium hydroxide, is it? So now you say, but, OH minus. I was not taught this way either. I mean, when I did my basic increase, we just learned it the fast way. We didn't understand what was going on either there. But I want students to understand it because I had a problem. I understood it after and I want you guys to understand it. So the total will be that which comes from all sources. And it's OH minus from water plus OH minus from calcium hydroxide. You agree with that? The concentration of hydroxide ions total comes from two sources. Water, alkalization, and the ionization of the strong base. And the concentration of OH minus from water is equal to the concentration of hydronium ions from water. Do you agree with that? Always. When ionization happens, the concentration of hydronium OH minus that comes from water, they're equal. Do you agree with that? That's always true. And do you have many sources of hydronium ions? No, you just have from water, isn't it? Well then, this from water should be also equal to what? To equilibrium total, which we know is how much? 9.3 times 10 to minus 8. And therefore, the concentration of OH minus that comes from calcium hydroxide is going to be equal to 1.1 times 10 to minus 7 minus 9.3 times 10 to minus 8 is equal to 1.7 times 10 to minus 8. And now you can say the concentration of calcium hydroxide is going to be equal to OH minus, that comes from calcium hydroxide, divided by 2, because it's 1 to 2, right? That will give you 8.5 times 10 to minus 9. I guarantee to you, you can go and find any book you want, any bookstore, any answer. And it's not going to be like this. It will be in one line. They will solve it in one line. But you don't understand chemistry that way. It seems like we designed it that way, so we will have only the ones that they really go crazy to learn it. And we have the rest of the students being anguished and going crazy and say, I don't understand anything, and I hate it and I'm bored. We're not doing it the right way, you guys. Do we do it the right way? You think we do it the right way? If we were doing it the right way, you will be happy being in college, but you're not. How can a person go like a missile on the street with your bikes? Go in the bathroom and paper towels are everywhere on the floor. 500 pieces. Poor lady or man that is cleaning up the bathroom at night. Why would you do that? Because you're stressed out, that's why. Why would you be stressed out? You pay so much money, you got to be educated, right? Why should you be stressed out when you're in college? Does that make any sense? Why? Why do you have to be? Ask yourselves. Because if you don't, it's not going to change. And if it's not going to change, your children is going to be in a much, much worse environment. Don't you agree? Or you don't agree? How many people agree? Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. How many people agree? How about the rest? You don't like Dr. Toupadakis, do you? He's your enemy, right? Yeah, he's bouncing with the same things every day, right? Until you get it. Okay, we finished part number 3 already.